Hare Krishna! And today I'd like to tell you about the 9 stages of bhakti-yoga. So we've been doing this bhakti-yoga series. If you haven't seen the other videos, at the end of this video there's going to be a link for the rest of the series. But here we're going to cover a very interesting topic that's covered in the bhakti tradition, especially in the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition, which are the 9 stages of bhakti, the 9 stages of spiritual development. It's a very interesting analysis. So let's go to number 1. Number 1 is sraddha. Sraddha means faith. Where do you put your love? What do you believe in? This first step, it's different from the Abrahamic concept where it's strongly, everything is just faith-based. In yoga, the idea is, yes, the first step is faith, but in the sense of like, yes, you have to have faith to do anything, right? You have to have faith to get out of bed. If you don't have faith that it's going to be better to get out of bed than stay in bed, you wouldn't get out of bed. So, you know, when somebody gives you like a piece of paper, we call money, you have to have faith that's worth something, that piece of paper is worth something. So it's just a kind of general faith just to take that first step. It's not that everything is based on faith, because you're going to be having experiences to confirm your decisions, your spiritual view. But the first step is sraddha, is faith. You have to have enough faith to, you know, just like start watching a video, maybe like, why should I read the Bhagavad Gita? Because you have faith that it might contain amazing wisdom for you. But so that first step is faith. Before you open the Bhagavad Gita, before you chant, before you do anything, you have to have faith that it's going to work. So that's like the first step we take. The second step is called sadhu-sanga. It's a very simple and obvious concept. Sadhusanga means association with devotees. Sadhu means wise person, sangha, association. So the second step is a little obvious. Let's say you want to do anything in life. If I want to play tennis, I have to associate with people who play tennis. If I want to be a rapper, I have to be like around people who do rapping or enjoy rapping. I mean, I have to be around people who are into that thing that I want to get into, right? Kind of obvious. And so sadhu-sanga is the second step. It's the same idea. If I want to get into bhakti or just, you know, the spiritual path in general, I'm going to have to get around, be in touch with those people who are doing that thing I want to learn about. Of course, these days, sadhu-sanga happens like this. You know, you can do sadhu-sanga through YouTube and Instagram and, you know, and just the internet in general. So these days, we can do this digital sadhu-sanga, and it works perfectly well because it's not about physical approximation. It's about mental, it's about learning, it's about doing what you guys are doing here. You're listening to something, you're learning about it. So that's what it's about, doing courses and stuff. You can do all this stuff online these days. So sadhu-sanga means that you're going to be spending more time with, looking for people who are already doing that thing you want to learn. In this case, bhakti. You want to learn about bhakti, about yoga, spirituality. So you want to hang around, you want to be with those people who are doing that thing already. Step 3 is bhajana-kriya. Bhajana-kriya, kriya means to do, and bhajana here means the practice of bhakti, to actually be engaged in practicing that devotion, bhajan. So bhajana-kriya, so it's quite obvious, but it's interesting, right? So the first thing is you had faith that it was going to be a good idea, and the second step is you looked for people who are doing it so you can learn from them, obviously, what it is you should do. And then the third step is that you start doing it yourself, bhajana-kriya, right? I mean, you won't get anywhere if you just look and don't do, which a lot of people do these days. A lot of spiritual practitioners, they kind of just look, but they don't do, they don't get into it. So then, you know, there's no advancement, really. I mean, it's you know, you go to classes or you go to retreat or you watch a video, but if you don't like, okay, I'm going to start actually doing this now, you won't get anywhere. So bhajana-kriya means, okay, what are the main practices you recommend? And in this series, I showed you like the 3 main practices for developing bhakti on a daily basis, the 3 daily practices. We call this sadhana. So it's the kind of thing, you learn that and you start doing the 3 T's of the 3T path, for example. So you actually start advancing on the path that you've chosen. So bhajana-kriya is step 3. Step 4 is really interesting. Step 4 is anartha nivrtti. What does that mean? Anarthas means those things which aren't good. Artha means value, means something good. Anartha means the opposite, like not good, so not value, the bad stuff. So anartha nivrtti means getting rid of the stuff that's no good. That's what it means. So step 4 is, once you started practicing, you're already practicing, you know, you're doing the 3T paths, you're practicing, you're doing the stuff that people tell you to do, which you picked up from sadhu-sanga, from being around them. So then you start practicing, and then it starts having an effect on you, right? You start removing from your life the junk, the mental and spiritual junk, you know, all the dirt, the coverings of the mind. There's lots of terms for it. But basically, you just remove what's no good. Why do we have this concept? Because in yoga, the idea is that you are perfect already. You start out, you are an eternal, perfect, beautiful soul, a divine spark of God. So what's in there originally is perfect. And so what we're doing now is we're getting rid of all the junk that's accumulated around our true selves. You know, the mental junk, emotional junk, just the identifications, all this stuff which is making your life miserable. We're going to just get rid of it. And if you just get rid of the bad stuff, what's left is beautiful and perfect, majestically transcendental. So anartha nivrtti, practice, and with practice you get rid of the bad stuff, and as you get rid of the bad stuff, your life gets better, you feel better, you're happier, more mental clarity, all the great stuff that practicing yoga brings you starts happening in your life. And that's why I said, step 1, sraddha, faith, it's only to get you going, because once you're going, you're going to get results. You experience the results. It's not like just a faith thing. You don't have to just have faith for the rest of your life. You actually see that it works, and that's why it keeps you going, because it works. Your life is actually better. So you keep doing it because it's better. So that was step 4. So step 4 is a big deal. It takes a little while. So you're working on step 4 for a bit. And then 5, finally, you come to step 5, which is nistha. Nistha means steady, steadiness. So what does this steadiness mean? Well, in the beginning, it's kind of like imagining you're going up a hill. So as you're going up, and it's like, you know, it's quite steep in the beginning, it's hard work, but then it comes to a point where you're leveled out. And so it's very easy. It's no longer a big deal, right? I mean, you look at this beautiful hill back here, hard to get up, but once you're up there, then it's flat and it's okay. You know, so that's nistha, means you're at the top of the hill. You've done all that hard work, anartha nivrtti, you're getting rid of all that junk, and then okay, now it's good, now it's steady. It just means your life is spiritually, your spiritual progress is really firm now. It's just like, you know, nothing's going to budge you from your spiritual life anymore. Before nistha, before step 5, you know, you can easily roll down the hill again. You can quit, you can give up, you just, you know, so a lot of people start and stop and don't get going, and you'll see that. You might have seen that around you, and certainly something we experience if you're around the spiritual community. Lots of people, and they don't make it to nistha, so they quit. So 5, nistha, you finally fixed. Then, this is the high stuff now. The last 3 steps are like super high level. So the next step, step 6, is ruci. Ruci means taste. It's actually, you've got the taste for it now. You just love spirituality, you love bhakti, you're really into God. You start to really like, you just appreciate, that's what you want. That's the stuff you really like. You know, you might have something you like in your life. I don't know, maybe you like some sort of game, or you like some sports. You know, it's something that you just really like doing, well, it's like that. It just becomes something, that's what you want to do. That's your, like, if given a choice, that's what you want to do. So ruci is when you're really into spiritual life. You just love it. You just want it. You really like it. You've got a real taste for it. So now it's just, you're impelled by just how wonderful spiritual life is, because it is wonderful. And so as you finally get to that point, you've done anartani, vritti enough to get rid of the junk, so you can see how wonderful it is, and then you just love it and you just want it more and more. So that's step 6. Now step 7 is even harder. Step 7 is asakti, attachment. So it's like, you like it, but now you're really attached to it. You're really into spiritual life. Nobody's gonna get you out of your spiritual life. You're really into it now. This is high level stuff. That's it. Nobody can rip you away from your spiritual life, your spiritual practice, from bhakti, because you're really into it now. Step 8, this is super high. This is called Bhava. So Bhava is a word that means love. It's like they have these nuanced terms for love in Sanskrit, but Bhava means, okay, it's translated as love. So now you really love God. You actually have real love. It's a very high level Bhava. They say, some spiritual masters say that Bhava is the highest level you can achieve within this karmically born body. So this is very high level love here. I mean, think like serious, high power, saintly, like Bhava levels, like you really love God and you're completely committed to spirituality and to God. It's a profound, deep emotion you have. So it's very high level Bhava. But it's not the last one. The last one is 9, prema. It's a very special, beautiful word you have in Sanskrit, prema. And prema means the absolute love of God. It means pure love. It's sometimes translated as pure love, as opposed to Bhava not being completely pure love. It's just like these little subtle details. But some spiritual masters say that prema is so intense that you'd have to like take birth again in a special situation where Krishna is incarnating, because Krishna came to earth 5,000 years ago, and there were these people around him then, right? So those were the people who either they came with him from the spiritual world, or they had Bhava in a previous lifetime, and then they get reborn in this super special, quasi-transcendental situation, so they can then go on to prema. Because it's so intense, prema. It's such a powerful, intense emotion, spiritual emotion, that the karmic body, this karmically born body, couldn't even deal with it. It's like, you have certain programs that computers can't handle, right? You need like a special graphics card or something, or your phone can't run that app because it's too old. So you need like a special like device, body, to be able to operate prema, because it's so intense, this pure love for Krishna. And of course that would be it. So stage 9 is, that's it, right? That's just like the absolute perfection of spirituality, of pure love for Krishna, pure love for God. So it's wonderful, isn't it? So I'm just going to repeat here the 9 stages of bhakti. So stage 1, sraddha, faith. Stage 2, sadhu-sanga, associating, being in touch with the people who are practicing. Stage 3, bhajana-kriya. You actually start doing the stuff that people are doing in that path. Stage 4, you're getting rid of the junk, you're cleansing yourself out, you're purifying your existence. Stage 5, nistha, you're steady now, you've removed enough junk so that you're steady now. Stage 6, ruci, you've got a taste for it now, you actually like it, you're not just doing it because you know it's better, it's not just an intellectual thing, you actually have taste for it, you really like what you're doing. Stage 7, asakti, attachment, you're really getting attached, you're really getting into it now, you really want to practice your spiritual life. Stage 8, bhava, love, now you're experiencing love of God. And stage 9, prema, full-on pure love of God. So I hope you liked that. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. I'd love to try to serve you, trying to answer your question. And thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to get more content like this. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.